live. Tinamale. Hey, hey. Let's see. Okay, here we are. Hi, how are you?
Okay, here we are.
Okay. All right, it's a go. Checking in with you to let you know here I am creating a space of rest and recovery for at least a week. If it takes all month, it takes all month. I'm gonna start out with a week. If you want to just sit in the background, you can put them hearts in the chat, thumbs up, and subscribe. So, yeah, it's the third day of no yarn arts, no knitting, no crocheting. I'm giving it a rest. It's not like I don't think about it. I think about it I thought about it today a little less than yesterday. I only thought about it today because I kind of felt a bit like, I need to do something. What am I going to do? So I did more reading. Like I said, I was going to lean more on reading. So I read like almost all of my books that are on my currently reading list. I have like one that I haven't read on that list. All the other ones got my attention and I was reading them. To um get closer to finishing at least one. I want to at least finish one before I start reading another one, before I download another one. Um for space for space I'm being conscious of the space. uh if I wasn't being conscious of space, I would have downloaded Secret Window and started reading it last night. I do have both of them, the one by Betty and the one by King Stephen. Stephen King. Um, and it looks like I'll get to read more of his books because The Secret Window, looks like it comes with other books. Hey, New Soul. Emotion, New Soul. It looks like it comes with at least four more stories. At least four more stories. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the book was just going to be about secret windows with Johnny Depp. But yeah, I get like four to five more stories maybe. And that'd be cool if they were all by Stephen King so I could say I read like six or seven stories of his. And they don't seem scary. They don't seem scary as far as the titles go. As far as the titles go. Now, there's one about a camera. It says it only takes pictures of a dog. And that reminds me, not all the way reminds me, but just a little reminiscent of Goosebumps with this magic camera. It's not the same concept though. So they don't seem scary as with the titles and the description. I did look over the titles and the descriptions and they seem subdued. They uh as far as Stephen King goes, his books have been a few books that I have not been able to complete. Are you reading any books? Or do you have any books on your to be read list? Books that you would like to read or TV shows that you're watching? Are you recovering, relaxing? What you up to? What are you up to? I'm up to reading, uh, movie adaptations, show adaptations. That's what I'm doing, along with some other books. Um, I just like a couple of weeks ago started watching movie adaptations. Oh, all right, in the studio. Okay, singing. Yes. Are you singing? What you doing? What are you doing in the studio? I sing. Yes, I was thinking about creating a SoundCloud actually. Do you have a SoundCloud or a what's the other one? Something band. Mm, I don't know what the whole name of it is, but it's a place for music. Somewhere to hear music. I like music. And Spotify. Yeah, Spotify's one. All right. All right, great. Excellent. I think you can share all that on the community page or here in the chat. Um, wait, I don't have the chat on the screen this time. Mm, so sharing it on the community tab would be best. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I can't get the chat on the screen. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Hold on. What is this? Oh, okay. That's comments right there. Okay. Yeah. Just in that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's great. That's great. What are you composing? Pray tell. What's the genre? Um, cool. Okay. So let me retrack. I haven't read two of the books that are on my currently reading list today. I haven't read them yet. Um, so yeah, two. And I just really leaned into the reading so that I can finish at least one of these books so I can get it out of the way so that I can make room for another book. Because I actually have a book downloaded that I haven't started reading yet. And I don't know why I haven't started reading it yet. Probably because I already got books that I'm reading. But it's already downloaded. And I just haven't. I did get some new suggestions for the season, some book recommendations to read during this season. And I did put a few of them that I could on the wish list. So I'm like, am I gonna get to read these books during the season? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It might be spring before I read them books. I don't know. Unless I read more, I may be able to pull it off if I increase my reading. I did decrease my reading to watch some movies and some shows. Um, so yeah, I just got to increase my reading if I want to read a seasonal book during the season. I'm like, can I read a seasonal book during the season? I kind of don't mind though. I'm gonna take this book that I'm reading in my book club, not my book club, but well, I am reading a book in my book club, and I'm also reading a book from a book club that I'm in, called Dead of Winter. I'm gonna consider that a seasonal book. It's not. I don't think it's seasonal, but it's a wintertime book. It's winter time, so I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that at the moment. I'm may be able to get another book in there. Um, Increasing my reading. I am reading two trilogy books. I think it's a trilogy book. Yeah, it's a trilogy. I'm reading book 1 and book 2 at the same time, and I'm actually liking it like that. I started on book 2 first and didn't realize that it belonged to a trilogy. And I'm like close to halfway into the book, just about. And then I found out that there was a book 1. So I was like, I asked, I was like, do I need to read book 1 before reading book 2? And they were like, yeah, you gotta read book 1 before you read 2. So I was like, okay. So I started reading book 1, and they're really similar. They just keep going back and forth. And uh so I was missing book 2, so I started reading book 2. Like after I'm reading book 1, as I'm reading book 1, like I'll stop reading book 1, then I'll go to book 2, and I'm liking it like that. Like it's cool. Like I mean, they're almost similar. Hey, Sifting with Soul, how are you? If you look, how are you doing? Have you started up any books? I'm resting and relaxing from any yarn crafts for at least a week. And as I'm doing so, I'm reading. and I'm reading, and I'm no specific genre. I'm reading all kinds of books, all kinds. um, really exploring genres that I've never explored before. So enjoying that. I'm really like Jack Skeleton over here with these books. What's this? What's this? It's magic in the air. What's this? But every book that I pick up and start reading it, like, what's this? Oh, that's how it's feeling with all these uh books to enjoy. When Jack Skeleton goes to Halloween Town. I'm not Halloween Town, goes to Christmas Land. And he's looking all around. Excellent. If you didn't know, I did reach my book goals. Uh, I did. I did. Wait, did I? Okay, so I set a book goal of 37 books, and I've read 57 books. So I've surpassed my book goal number wise. I started out reading all of the books on my bookshelf that I had on there for years. And I just about got it all cleared off. I have like maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 books on my bookshelf that I still haven't read. Um, while my book challenge was going on, and then after I finish this, I have a book challenge update. Um, so as I was reading the books on my bookshelf, I discovered some new books. I was getting book recommendations. So I would just right then and there start reading the book. After, like, okay, the first time I did it, I like waited two days. I was like, well, I could just read the book. And yeah, I started like picking up books and just started reading them right then and there. Like they wouldn't even reach my bookshelf. And then I started reading 2 books at a time, 3 books at a time. And I just kept increasing it till I got to like 10 books at a time. And they were all new books that weren't on my bookshelf. So that's how I read more books, and still have a maybe 5 books on my bookshelf to go. But I thought that was great. That was excellent. So yeah, I thought that was an excellent uh way to enjoy reading, to be able to go from having books on my shelf for years to picking up a book and reading it the same day. Like, yes, like go, like I win, like and really seeing like some books read faster than other books. I don't know how, but I don't know if it. Well, I guess it's the. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I mean, it could be the number of pages, but some big books go fast depending on the interest, the story. Some books go slower. I was reading like, I don't know, 9 books. I got up to 9 books. And then I started reading Hunger Games. And I was thinking to myself, do I wait till I finish these 9 books and then read Hunger Games? Or do I just go ahead and read Hunger Games? And I hesitated because I am in a book club that had started reading Hunger Games. And I hesitated, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 or 3. And then I was like, I can do this. I can read more than 2 books at a time. Was it Hunger Games that popped that off? I think it might have been Hunger Games that popped that off. So I really, I had in my mind that I could only read 1 book at a time, but I was like, look, it's like TV. I had to coach myself. Like, it's like TV. You set 1 book down and you pick another one up. Just like if you was to change the channel, watch something else, during a commercial break or whatever. So I started reading Hunger Games, and I read it all that night. I was like, "Oh my god, that book went so fast, and I loved it, and I liked it, and I wanted to see what was gonna happen next." And I was like, "This author has done something to this book, like this, like the last scene." I was like, "And what next?" So I got Catching Fire, which is the next book. And I read Catching Fire to see what came next because I liked the end scene. And I was like, well, what next? Because I'm like, did he what? I wanted to know what happened next. I was liking that scene. So I got Catching Fire, read Catching Fire the next day. Like I read Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingbird like within a 24-hour span. Within 24 hours, them 3 books was read, I think. I think it was 24 hours. It was close to it because I started Hunger Games at night and then I finished Mockingbird the next night. So and I read 3 books. Boom, 24 hours later, and still got those other books that I was reading. I was like, how is that? That's so magical to that these books went swiftly like that, and I was hesitant of even starting them in the first place. Like, just read the book. It could go just as fast as that, and you're finished reading it. It's just as soon as you start it. Like, I enjoyed it. It was fun when I got to the end scene of Catching Fire. Um, it was the same way. The end scene was like, okay, and what next? So that's how I started Mockingbird, and by the end of Mockingbird, I was like, okay, let me breathe. And then I looked to see what was next, and was it Birds of Prey or what it was? Ballard, Ballard, Birds and Snakes or something like that. The Ballad of Birds and Snakes or something like that. And it just not too long ago came out, and I was like, okay, I don't have to read this book right now. I can take a break. Um, because I surpassed the book club. The book club was only reading Hunger Games. And I've done that and more. So I was like, okay, I don't have to read the Ballad of Birds and Snakes. I don't have to read that right now. Whew. So that's why I put a pin in it. I was like, okay. That was fun. And then I went back to the other books I was reading. So yeah, just read the book. If you're thinking that you don't have time to read a book, eh, eh 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day. And you've read some of the book. So eh, eh. And if you press for time, set a 10-minute timer and just read that for that 10 minutes, and then when that 10 minutes is up, then hey, you're done for the day. And then if you find that you do have time and you would like to read more of the book later, then it's there to read later, but at least you read that for that 10 minutes. No, the book was just that good. The book was just that good. Like, it's some books that go slower. Like, those were some speedy books. Like, it's the book. I don't know. Like, I'm like, how did that happen? Like, it's the book. I don't, and maybe I don't, I don't know. I think they were like in the 200 pages, maybe. They might have been in the 200 pages. They could have been in the 300 pages. I don't think they were any more than 300 pages. I don't I I don't know right off the top right now. I don't think they were more than 300 pages. Like, books that are in the 200s, they can get read in like a 24-hour span. 500, maybe 400 and something pages to 500. They seem to be written a little slower. Like I'm like, ooh. And I don't know if it's a mental thing that it seems. I mean, it's only double, so it should be done in 2 days, right? So, but I don't know. Maybe it's the context, the subject. What? I don't know. I don't know. I know it was fun. I know it was fun reading it. I was like, man, I could have started this book the other day. And I was like, okay. And I've even I didn't read Harry Potter in a short time, but I think I I almost read it like every day. Maybe not every day, but I have finished it. Like I have finished. I was in a club that was reading Harry Potter. I think it's called the Cousin Harry Potter Club, and I hesitated starting Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince because I haven't even read part 1 yet. Like I started with part 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is fine. I mean, I got it. I started it because I saw someone else enjoying it, so I wanted to be up in that joy too. So I started reading it, and then the club started Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince, and then I was like, I don't know if I should wait till next year, but I started reading it and I read it and finished it. I'm trying to think. And then I started the next book was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hollows. I read that and enjoyed that. Maybe it's because I'm reading it with a book club that it went swiftly. I mean, I did take my time. I mean, like it wasn't rushed per se. I just was consistent. Yeah, I think I read both. I finished both of those books last month. I think I might have started on Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince the month before. But yeah, it's really consistency. Like at least read 10 minutes a day on it, to chip away at it. Some books are just like some books are page turners. So you just be like, and what next? like I was with Hunger Games. I just literally was like, what's next? Like, and she didn't. The author didn't. What do you call that when a book recaps? She didn't recap or anything. Like it just flowed on into the next book with no recap. I was like, okay, so this book isn't it's not fluffy. It's not a recap of the previous book because we did already just read the previous book. So leave the previous book in the previous book and leave this book into this book. And that's what she did. Yeah, I was like, okay, girl, like you know how to write. Get it. Yeah, she knows how to write. Like beautiful end scenes and all in between. Like those books were amazing. Yep. So, yeah. So far, I've been enjoying the book adaptations to movies. I did enjoy Bird Box. Bird Box. I did enjoy also I Am Legend book. Um and I did put it in the bookshop, and the I Am Legend book that I read came with some other stories. So that's the one that I added to the bookshop. And the other, okay, so I Am Legend, the book, I'm glad the movie wasn't made like the book. Like, I'm glad the book is its own thing and the movie is its own thing. Like, I don't know if I don't know if I would have liked the movie if it was more like the book. I like the book, but I don't know if I would have liked the movie. Like, it's some stuff that Neville does. One thing in particular, well, it's a couple of things. I'm glad that it wasn't in the movie. Like, uh, like actually, the book is more intense than the movie too. But I have seen the movie like at least 4 times. So I don't know if that's fair to say. I've only read the book one time. And I don't know, maybe like when I watched the movie the first time it was intense. But there's a scene in the book that when Neville starts to shake in his boots, he starts to quake because his watch stops and he doesn't know exactly what time it is, but he trying to get back home before the sun go down. I'm like, I started shaking too. Like he was shaking enough for me and him both. And I started shaking. I was like, oh my goodness. So I had to stop reading. I had to calm down and then pick up the book later on after my nerves settled because he was just dilly dallying. He was like, oh, I got time, it's 3 o'clock. And then uh he looked back at his watch, he does something else. It take him about 30 minutes or so. So he's, guessing by the way that the sun looks. And he look at his clock, his watch, and he's like, 3 o'clock? He was like, 3 o'clock. He was like, he didn't know when his watch stopped. It was tense. That was a very tense moment in the book. Oh my goodness. So yeah, and then the cars were different. The car is different in the movie than in the book. Um, I like the car in the movie, and I like the car in the book too. Like I like them for what they are. They like alternate universes. I like how Will Smith played the character in the movie. Bird Box. I love the book. Like Bird Box. I really thought the movie was like the book. When I was reading the book, it was so vivid. Like these books, these authors are great. Are use great describing words to allow the reader to view what they're portraying. And in Bird Box, I really thought I was reading the movie, like, and then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, this this not like the book. The book is a wee bit better. Oh, it's good. Like it's good, but I do like the movie too. Like I do like the movie, and I kind of would have liked for some scenes in the movie to had been in the book, but it wasn't. So whatever. And like Tom, I would have liked for I guess Tom to be around or whatever, but yes, it's like their own alternate universes, the book and the movie. And the Barcelona Bird Box is like um it's like it has elements of the book in it because even Bird Box doesn't have all the elements that the book has. Okay, so even the movie Bird Box doesn't have all the elements that the book has. When you watch Bird Box Barcelona, you get more of what's in the book. I mean, as well as Bird Box. So, like, it's like both of them are a compilation of the book. like Bird Box and Bird Box Barcelona are like part one of the book. Even though they're two movies, they're still part one of the book. Now, will I read part two? I don't know. Like, not soon. Not soon. I will not read it soon because Bird Box the book was tense. Like, it was tense. Like, I was covering my eyes while I was reading the book. I was like, oh my goodness. I like the book. I like the book. Like, it's so good. Like, when I went to watch the movie after I read the book, I was looking for the movie to be more like the book. And I was like, it's not. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, this is not the same. This is not the same. Lord have mercy. But it's still good. Whatever. Whatever. Like, there's a scene in the movie about some part tarts. I I was like, they could have went back to home base before they sat there and indulged in them part tarts. Okay, but whatever. So the next movie adaptation I'll be reading is Secret Windows with no, it's Secret Window. Did I find Secret Windows? No, I didn't. I only saw Secret Window with Johnny Depp. It's titled 4 minutes past midnight, and it has that story in it along with about five other stories in it. Also on my list to read is Stranger Things. So I will be reading that. No, I haven't watched season 1, 2, or 3. I love season 4 though. Waiting for season 5. Um so yeah, I'll be reading it. Also, I saw a Sabrina book, and I'm thinking it might be the book that came before the show. Uh, Sabrina and the something about chilling adventures. The one that's on Netflix. So that's on my wish list to read. So I have quite a few. Like it's like, oh, you want to read? Okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. So I do have quite a bit of books lined up. No particular order. Really just what I'm feeling and what I pick up. Like, I have it on my wish list. When I'm feeling it, I'll read it. I really want to read Secret Window and Johnny Depp. I don't know. I saw the movie and I started the movie. So I was like, let me read the book first. Let me read the book. So that's what's going on. Just really enjoying books like no rhyme or reason. Um, I'm probably hesitant with Stranger Things because I did try to watch the show, and the promotions for that show was very startling. The 3D what do you call that? Not 3D. Lord have mercy. I'm so glad it wasn't 3D. 360. There's some 360 trailers that you can watch, and oh my goodness, they for the birds. Lord have mercy. Leave them things alone. um I finally I finally watched one. Like I stayed, and then this is probably why I stayed turned around. Like with the 360 trailer, you can move your device around and see around the room. And first of all, I had to get used to that. Like that made me sick. Like, ugh. But then after I got used to it, then I was like looking around, but it still felt weird. Like it kind of felt weird. So then I finally got to the phone ringing, and the phone ringing part, and it's like, yeah, pick up the phone. And then that whole scene, where are you? And then get out of the house, it's behind you. And then you supposed to turn around. I did not turn around. I was like, it can stay behind me. Like, and then so after I did that to see what it was gonna do, which it didn't do anything because you got to turn around to see it. So then I turned around a little bit. Like, if you hadn't seen a 360 trailer, you could check it out for yourself. You can see what I'm talking about. And I mean, you can turn your device to the left, to the right, up, down. It's like you're like you're there in the room, or like the room is in your room. It's like split reality type of thing going on. So yeah, that's fun. And then um I did attempt to watch the first few episodes, and I just was like, it was so intense, and I just was like, I'm just not going to watch this. I'm just not. And then I did attempt to watch like reviews of the show, but I just wasn't into it like it that I was like, my intensity cup had been filled and runneth over with that anticipation of that show. So when it came to season season 4, I love season 4. Um, I love the song. I love how the friends and families all came together to do what they had to do, how they had to do it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Um, so I don't know how this book is going to be. And actually, I did start reading Dungeons and Dragons to understand that conversation in Stranger Things with Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, I do see that there is two specific books that cater to Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that's the title. That's in the title. Like, Stranger Things and what it has to do with Dungeons and Dragons, or something like that. Like, and there's two books, so I might be reading those. Um, and there are some other Dungeons and Dragon books that I do see, so I even may be reading those. I have started on the manual of Dungeons and Dragons, and from it already, it's philosophical already. Like, the rules of the game and the characters. Um, there's a life lesson up in there, like up in there, up in there. Like, whoa. cool. Like, yes, get it. If you got it, you got it. If you heard it, if you caught the life lesson in the manual of Dungeons and Dragons, I'm like, this is like the game of life. Like, this is life, but in a game. Which, life can be fun. You play it. It's just I liked it. I liked it. I likened it to life and lessons, and even uh the book Rich Dad Poor Dad that states like when going to a shoe when you want some shoes made, you go to a shoemaker. When you want some bread baked, you go to a baker. Like you got to go to the specific person for specific things. You can't go to a shoemaker and ask him to bake some bread. You can't be expecting some bread from a shoemaker because yeah, there's no telling what you're gonna get. So you have to be you, you have to speak to specific people. Financial information, you go to somebody in finances. So yeah, I saw that within the manual of Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, wow, thank you, Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you. Thank you so much for the thumbs ups, subscribing, and your camaraderie. Thank you, thank you, thank you for participating in the celebration that is the community tab. Give yourselves a hand clap. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the community tab. Like, woo! Yay, 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 yay. That's all for you. Like, you did that. So, yeah, those are some things that I learned during this reading challenge year. Okay, so I did have an update on my reading book. My reading book. My book challenge. Uh, I learned today that um The book challenge ends December 31st. Book challenge ends December 31st. And the new year 2025 book challenge begins January 1st for a book challenge that I was invited to. So I was invited to a book challenge. I not I don't think I'm gonna do that book challenge. Um just because I'm already doing the things from that book challenge. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I think it might be catered to people that aren't already doing that, to challenge them to do that, and I'm already doing that. So I am going to set my personal book challenge. Um, right now it looks like 57/37, which is my goal was 37, and I reached 57. I'm going to go ahead and change that to, I don't know, between 60 and 100. I'm gonna change it to between 60 and 100. What are we in? We're in December already. So between 60 and 100. I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll put it at 60 since I'm already at 57. um, yeah. I don't know. To go for 100 and it ends on December 31st? I don't know. I don't know what it'll do. I don't know what it'll do. Like, we'll see. Because I kind of want to see what it looks like. Like, is it going to spill over to next year, or is it going to say, wah, wah? Make another challenge next year. So I'm going to set it to a higher number since I did reach my goal. Yay! I reached my reading goal. Reached it and surpassed it. So I'm going to set it to a number between 60 and 100. You guys can put a number down if you would like, um, to see for suggestions of what number I should go with, to set my next book goal before this year is up. So this will be a goal for this month. I'm setting the book goal for this month to end this year's book challenge. So that's what's happening this month. So between 60 and 100. Like, you can choose 100, you can choose 60. Anywhere in between that as well. That's how I'm going to end the book challenge for this year. And then next year I'll set a whole nother book challenge. Um and that's how that's gonna go. So I'm setting that, and then we can talk about book challenges for next year, like what my amount should be for the whole year. This year, I read. I started reading in April. I don't think I read in January or February. January, February, or March. I did start reading in April this year. April. I didn't read in May, June. Wait, or did I? Oh, May, June. I think May, June. So I didn't read January, February, March. April, I read in April. April, May, June. I didn't read in May, June. July, I started reading in July. And then August, September. August is when I started my book challenge. Actually, July is when I started my book challenge. I think so. I think July is when I started reading like every day. And then August, well, maybe the end of July. And then August, I started reading every day. August, September, October, November, and here we are in December. So these past few months, starting July, is when I started reading and making it a priority. Yes. So I'll continue to make reading a priority this coming up year, at the beginning of the year, and make my goal as such. Because if I start in January, if I start reading in January, continue reading in January, I can get more books read. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I read as many as I could because it seems like, I started when I did. Now, had I started in January and read in February and March and May and June and early July, then I could have possibly read more books. So that's what I'll be going for this up and coming year. Um, this is fun, guys. This is so fun. Um, Making whatever you're enjoying a priority. So, yeah, I thought reading I needed to make a priority, and I have done as such, and I'm enjoying it. Hey. I even got a book club. That was one of my intentions this past, what, was it last month that I told you guys that I wanted to make a book club, or like the month before I announced that I would like to be more engaged in my book clubs that I'm in, and I've done that. I've even created my own book club. So I have that, and I'll be continuing that um, with the book that's in the description box. If you don't want to get that book there, you can get the book from Amazon like I did and join the book club. It is a private book club at the moment. So just let me know if you need to let me know. I don't you have to see how you have to, press the button and see how that all works. Um so I'm guessing you press the button and get invited or what have you. So I will be continuing the book when the book is has ended this month. I will be renewing the read. I will be reading this book again and again. So that'll be a book that I'll continue to read and keep in the book club. This book club is dedicated to this book at the moment. I do have another book club and a read along on story story graph story graph, and you can join that. I was looking for like a buddy read on there, but I didn't see that available. What I did see was the read along and the club, so that's what I got going on over there. I've even created forms for the book, so do enjoy the forms. And uh, as well, all books, mostly all books are available in the bookshop, um, which is on the QR code of previous live streams. Also, the coffee shop has been updated, revamped. It's been updated. Um, Also, I've shared book links via social medias. I've also shared my snapshots of my reads, my goals, my accomplishments, um, via social medias. Some the late not the latest ones. The earlier ones are on the community tab. The latest ones are on other social media outlets. So do enjoy that. I do encourage reading. I love, love, love to be able to speak about these books. And as I'm speaking about them, have the books available for you all. So the books are available to you all. I'm not just speaking about them, they're also available via my bookshop that helps local books. You can, with your purchase online, help local books. Like that is like amazing. Like it's amazing balls. Like really. Like you buying a book online, boom, from a local bookstore. Like yes, like especially, if you want to stay home, you don't you want to order online, whenever you're not out at a local bookstore personally, you get the satisfaction that you are buying locally through your purchase online. And I thought that was so amazing to bring that to you all and to share my love of reading and present these gifts that are called books to you all. So do uh, enjoy your purchase for yourself, book lovers. Also, the bookstore sells other things as well. They sell different items. They sell knitting books, crochet books, knitting kits, crochet kits, different items, puzzles, games, tarot cards, oracle cards, Tabitha Brown books. I do have a bookshelf specifically for Tabitha Brown items. Her books are available in my bookshop. So, yeah, there's a specific shelf with only Tabitha Brown items, books, her recipe books, her try a new thing book, her beautiful hair story books are all available via my bookshop, which you can conveniently scan with your device, your phone, uh, via the QR codes available via previous live streams. As well as all the other goodies available in the description box via this live screen description box and previous live screen description boxes. Rest, relax, listen to your body, and enjoy some great films and books while you're at it.